First, thanks. I appreciate you giving me a chance to spend a little time with you this morning. One of the realities in life, and it really applies in business too, is that absolutely nothing stays the same. It's problematical because for a small business, it means that if we're not growing, then we're falling back. So, by growth, I mean, it doesn't mean we have to be building bricks and mortar or planting more acres if we're, growing grapes for a vineyard. But what we do need to do is we got to be growing something, growing our sales, growing our profits, growing our infrastructure, improving our skills. But something positive has to be happening in our company every day or every year, because the alternative of that is that we're somehow losing ground. The most valuable type of business to own is a business that's profitable, that's growing, and can run itself. So you need to be trying to do all three of those things over time if you ever want to have a business that you can sell to somebody else. So that's why Ron and I at Happy Entrepreneur Consulting, we're really trying to change that world one business at a time by talking to entrepreneurs about the processes that successful businesses use to develop, to identify, evaluate, and capitalize on opportunities for growth. That's really, a critical success factor for any entrepreneur. When it comes to growth, we really believe in a keep it simple, approach to things. And there are four, and only four types of growth strategies that any business, big or small, doesn't matter how big the company is or how small the business is. There's only four different things that we can do to grow our business, and they're all a function of two things: the products and services that we sell, and the customers or the markets that we sell into. So I want to just take a couple minutes, and I'm going to go through the four growth strategies, and we'll start with the lowest risk of those growth strategies and work our way up, because there's actually significant differences in the risk levels associated with your types of growth strategies. So for a business that's an existing business, been in operation for a while, the lowest risk growth strategy is called market penetration. So all market penetration is I'm going to sell more of my existing product and services into my current markets. The next type of growth strategy is called market development. There's a little bit more risk associated with market development. It's still the same products and services. We're not changing what we sell, but we're going into a new market. And a new market could mean a different geographical area. Like if we've been selling in Nova Scotia, but we decide now we're going to go online and we're going to sell around the world, or we're going to get a distributor in Ontario or something like that. That's same product, but a different market. But it could also mean a different vertical market. The third type of growth strategy, and this is where the risk level starts to go up quite considerably, is product development. Product development, we're still selling in our existing markets. We're selling to the same types of customers and in the same geographic location, but we're developing a new product. So if a company was, say, manufacturing an LED spotlight and selling it to the marine sector, well, they might decide that there's a different type of light that they could manufacture, maybe a rack light that would go on the boats or something like that. So we know the market, but we have to go invest in R&D, and we got to create that new product or service. That's what's called a line extension. In other words, that's you can see how that flows. I am already selling one type of light to the marine sector. Now I'm just going to sell a different type of light. But product development sometimes could involve a product that's not related to our what we're currently doing. And the fourth type of growth strategy, and this is far and away the riskiest strategy for any business, it's called diversification. And that's basically selling a new product and service into a new market. So I'm coming up with a product that I haven't sold before, and I'm also going to take it into a market where I have no particular experience. So you can understand that that's the highest risk strategy you can take. What I find interesting is that we all hear the stats about the small business failures in the first 4 or 5 years, and so many of them that just don't make it through that first 5-year period. And we talk a lot about the lack of profitability. We talk a lot about maybe not having enough capital to finance and all those kind of things. What I don't think we talk about is the fact that when we start a business, we're actually implementing the highest risk growth strategy possible. Because by definition, if we've done it from scratch, we have no products and we have no services. So it's diversification. And it's the toughest thing in the world, for us to do. And I think it does, it's something we don't spend quite enough time reflecting upon. So knowing that there are four different ways that we could grow our business, the challenge for most entrepreneurs is how to choose the right growth strategy for your business. So my first piece of advice there is to never, ever, ever confuse opportunity identification with the opportunity evaluation process. The entrepreneur that tells me that they just can't figure out how to grow their business, can't come up with any ideas, just not, one of two things. They're either not allocating enough time to work on their business, in other words, to think about what they could do, or they're just allowing that internal resistance to throw ideas out before they have an opportunity to get developed. So the nice thing about a small business is that we don't have a whole lot of bureaucracy to go through when we're trying to decide if something makes sense or not. So I'm a big fan of another keep it simple process. So the first thing you have to ask yourself is this something that I really, really, really want to do? Life is way too short, and there's lots of ways to make money. Trust me, there's lots of ways to make money. But there's lots of ways to make money that we're not interested in in doing. So, but here's a really concrete example. We've done a lot of work in the agricultural sector and with a lot of folks at like farm markets and smaller businesses. So a lot of these entrepreneurs are involved in the organic food movement. Now, you could have two farmers involved in the organic food movement for totally different reasons. The one farmer, it's just a business decision. He just looked at it and said, look, I can sell my product for a higher price. I can make more money if I grow organically, but that's it. But the truth is, I'd say 9 out of 10 people that I meet in this sector, it's about a lot more than that. They're in it because they believe they want to change the whole food movement, the whole food supply chain, the way we buy our food, the way we grow it, and all of those kind of things. So if we presented those two entrepreneurs with a growth opportunity where they could quadruple their business, but they had to use pesticides or a growth hormone, the first entrepreneur could do that. And I wouldn't judge him. Like, that first entrepreneur could do that because it wouldn't conflict with his core values. But if we asked that second entrepreneur to do that, there's no amount of money you could pay them. And the second thing you need to do is translate those personal values into entrepreneurial vision. So entrepreneurial vision, this is just what it is we really hope to achieve with our business, not for ourselves. It's not about making money, it's not about staying in our community or putting food on the table. All those things happen if we have a successful business. But entrepreneurial vision is about what you would hope to achieve for your customers or for your community. So for Happy Entrepreneur Consulting, our vision is businesses that reach their true potential. We're happy if the businesses in our community and around the world actually reach their true potential. For the most part, I go from, does it align with my vision, what I want to accomplish with my business, and then the next question I ask myself, how can I find a way to test that idea without blowing my budget? That's my goal. And it's funny because you'll often hear the word product launch. If you're going to develop a new product, we'll talk about a product launch. When people think about a launch, you visualize a spaceship, going off and going from zero to whatever, and instantly, okay, rocket boosters and all that kind of stuff. But for small businesses, that's not the way it works. Like, I use the agricultural analogy of planting a seed, and it goes, hopefully, if we give it enough water, it starts to become this tiny little seedling. And here's the thing. No matter how much evaluating we do, how much effort we put into evaluating growth opportunities, it's really hard to predict in advance which one of those opportunities are actually going to result in in big changes for your business. So certainly in my entrepreneurial career, I've had all sorts of ideas that I thought was, man, this is really going to be the one. I'm really going places with this idea, and they flopped. This didn't go anywhere. And the one or two, certainly the one that really became, it grew from a seedling to an oak tree in terms of its contribution. I think if I could sum it up, it comes down to dedicating time to growth, like consciously reflecting about the importance of growth and trying to identify opportunities. And it comes down to being crystal clear in your own mind about what it is you want to accomplish with your business. If you achieved ultimate success, what would that look like? And then finding ways to test your ideas, to give them an opportunity to grow.